obviously seize the day, but this
Yes.
is the first time I've heard of carpe amnia, seize everything. Stephen A., will the Cowboys live up to this theme?
Is that a trick question?
Seize everything.
Seize everything. Please, that's not going to happen. Hell no. They're not going to live up to that. I just appreciate and I'm thankful that they set the stage to provide me with this fodder. I mean, I literally try to just move on from it, but they're the gift that keeps on giving. Now, when you sit up there and talk about season everything, yeah, wouldn't that be a Super Bowl? Wouldn't it be division crown, conference championship, Super Bowl? Ain't that everything? I think that's everything in football. Is that not everything in the NFL?
Yes.
Ain't nowhere in hell 2 of them gonna happen. You might, first of all, 3 of them ain't gonna happen. You ain't beating the Eagles for the division crown. You ain't winning the NFC championship and going to the Super Bowl. And you damn sure ain't winning the Super Bowl. You're gonna be 0 for 3. 0 for 3. It just makes me laugh. Now, Mike McCarthy, respectfully, man won 61.8% of his games as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, okay? In the 3 years he's been a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, he's won 60% of his games. He's won 30 of the 50 games. They're 30-20 overall with Mike McCarthy. But they've got 2 playoff victories, okay, in Dak Prescott's tenure. Now, I will say this. This is bad news for you, Molly.
What?
Come Sunday night. The Dallas Cowboys, with Dak Prescott as their quarterback, they've beaten the New York Giants 10 straight. With Dak Prescott quarterback, and they've won 10 straight over the New York Giants. Second longest streak. Only Patrick Mahomes, 11 straight over Denver, has been better. So that's a daunting task for the New York Giants, and we understand that. But in the end, overall, from a macro perspective, you just look at the Dallas Cowboys, and this is the beauty. You don't know what's going to go wrong. You just know something's going to go wrong. You don't know what. You don't know when. But you have to be patient. Just wait. They won't let you down. They ain't gonna let me down. They ain't gonna let me down. Somehow, some way. You understand? I don't know whether it's going to be Dak Prescott. I don't know whether it's going to be Tony Pollard not being able to be in every down back. Maybe CeeDee Lamb is the number 1 receiver that tails off a little bit now that everybody's looking at him as the bona fide number 1, even though we know he's a stud. He can ball. Got Brandon Cooks there. Michael Gallup is still there. Reliable target. Hopefully he stays healthy. We don't wish anything bad on him. Hopefully your offensive line is up to snuff compared to what they've been years ago. I expect this defense to be real and legit. But let me tell you what I expect, Dan Orlovsky.
I can't wait.
I expect friction. I expect a defense that is going to be elite, and they're going to look at an offense that's sporadic, and they're going to have problems. And they're going to be like, damn it, what you going to do? Damn, we tired of this. Step up, get it done. That's how they're going to be. And that team is going to become fragmented, and they're going to divide. And right when it matters most, bam! They're going to collapse. They will not let me down. You can book it.
All right, so first of all, I actually have picked, and I think the Giants win the game on Sunday night.
Really?
I do.
Oh, wow. I don't think the Giants are going to win the game Sunday night, but go ahead.
I don't know what's happened. I do. I think the Giants.
No,
Molly just rolled her eyes at me. She just rolled her eyes. She just rolled her eyes at me.
Just let him finish his point.
I don't know
This is
what's
important.
happened this year when it comes to us talking about the Cowboys, but I feel I have gone on the defense of the Cowboys and Dak Prescott more than I generally like to. To sit here and whatever the theme is for Mike McCarthy, I couldn't care less. Coaches do whatever they want to try to galvanize their people, get them to focus.
Yeah.
But telling the truth about Dallas does matter. They have won 12 games in back-to-back seasons. They are a top 5 offense and top 5 defense in both of those last 2 seasons.
Right.
They have led the NFL in takeaways in both of the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. They did add Stephon Gilmore. They did add Brandon Cooks. They did draft Mozzie Smith out of Michigan in the first round. So for me to sit here and think that is wildly unlikely for them to accomplish the whole seize everything, it is more likely that Mike McCarthy kind of brings this into fruition and the Cowboys do accomplish it than the Cowboys don't. This is still a very good football team. Dak is still a really good quarterback. They're going to have to play their best football in the playoffs when they haven't done that, and that's a fair statement. Mm-hmm. But to sit here and I feel like we're talking about the Cowboys, or you're talking about the Cowboys the same way that we would talk about the Arizona Cardinals this year.
No.
It's more likely that Dallas goes to the NFC title game than not.
That's you being emotional.
No.
I mean, it is. I'm going to explain to you why. Because you see, when you're big time, and as you have risen and have ascended, hopefully this is a language that you can comprehend. I mean, I've been there, so I understand. And you're rising, you're rising, you're rising. My point to you, Dan Orlovsky, is this.
Yes, sir.
When your history has shown you fold, no matter how talented you may be.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the narrative is going to be, are you going to fold again or not? We're not talking about the Dallas Cowboys as if they're the Arizona Cardinals. We've got them as a top 3 team in the NFC. It's Philly, San Francisco, and them. We all know this, okay? We're not talking about them. They want to create that narrative because they want to come across as victims or Dallas Cowboy fans. It's not the Cowboys fans. It's those disgusting fans that I talk about all the time. That's them doing it. They want to act like they're victims. What I'm saying to you is this. I, you, Molly, and everybody else have the right to look at them and say, your history, spanning 28 years, shows and indicates that you fold when it counts most. You got poor Jerry aging every single year, wondering how much time he's got left with his mortality. I think he's going to be around for a long time. I love the man personally.
Gosh.
I love me some Jerry Jones. That's my buddy right there. That's my buddy, okay? But the bottom line is they owe him. Now, people sit up there and say, you're not holding Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones has done a lot wrong over the years. Not recently. Now, he might not have needed to let Amari Cooper go, but Amari Cooper didn't show up in those playoffs. We keep forgetting that.
They couldn't pay Amari and pay Dak.
And they couldn't pay him and pay Dak. So we understand that. The fact of the matter is, when you look at Jerry Jones, he, along with Stephen Jones, who I like too, by the way, he owes me a drink, by the way. Him and Stephen Jones, both of them, I think meaning Dak. I'm not talking about Jerry.
Or is it the coaching?
No. I just said Dak. I did not stutter.
There's no way that
Dak.
you can sit here and
yes,
say
I
that
can.
Dak Prescott
yes, I
era
can.
is a failure.
No. I don't mean that way. What I mean, I'm talking about championship standards. I know the man has won more games than he's lost. I know that his record as a starter is impressive. I get that. But when you are that player on that squad, at some point in time, you can't have 2 playoff victories in 8 years. I am not blaming Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones for that. I'm dead serious.
I agree with that.
Their job.
Because we
I
have to
agree
go.
with that.
Have they given Dak everything he needs in terms of talent? And you think
Yes.
the coaching decisions have been okay as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's on
To
him.
that point, it's absolutely fair.
Interesting.
I think the Giants beat them on Sunday night, and the noise gets really loud really quickly.
Yes.
But I
Jerry
think that's
Jones
fair.
had no business keeping
Jason
Garrett as long as he did. Fair enough. But from a roster perspective,
It's tremendous.
this man and Stephen Jones have given, especially since they paid Dak,
All right.
they've given Dak everything he needs. You got to get it done.
I agree.
You're allowed back on the helicopter.
Did you look at my face? I rolled my eyes at Molly because that's what she did to me. You gotta get the jib angle, please. Not that one. This jib right here. The jib right here, right? See how that's the angle I want for the day. I like that. Yeah.
Dallas is favored by 3.5. Oh, speaking of big time, we have a special guest joining us Wednesday on First Take. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell will be in studio for a live one-on-one interview with Stephen A. What is the commissioner most looking forward to this season? Be sure to tune in Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Right.
I just want to sit up there and say that, when I was doing NBA and Stephen A's World last year, co-producing it with Omaha Productions led by him and his big brother, I just want to say 2 of my highlights was having him on one show and Peyton the other. Love you guys, man. How you doing, Eli?
I'm doing great, Steven. Appreciate you being one of the co-hosts. Sorry you didn't get the gig for the Manning cast this year, but you were close. It was a hard choice not to add you to the mix.
I will forgive y'all if y'all invite me on as a guest at some point this season. That's all I ask.
That
Sounds
good.
like a fair deal.
This one.
Eli, I want to talk to you about something. So I'm a diehard Giants fan, and all summer long, all we're talking about is obviously the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers. And a lot of people are saying New York is now the Jets town. How do you feel about that?
Well, you got to play some football first. It's not who wins the all season, and obviously they got a lot of hype, and Aaron Rodgers coming to town, which is obviously gets everybody excited, and Hard Knocks and everything going on. But hey, it's football season starting obviously tonight, and I know everybody's excited for this weekend we got to play some games. And the Giants and Jets will face off this year in a few weeks, so that'll be exciting. But you know what? As just a fan of sports and being in New York in this area, I like for both teams and all the New York teams to be relevant and to be good and to be in the mix. I think it's great for the town. It's great for the energy being here. So I promote and hope the Jets have a good season and hope the Giants have obviously a little better season. But I'm excited for both teams.
Eli, how are you feeling about the Giants now? I know a game hasn't been played yet, a regular season game, but how are you feeling about the Giants now compared to what you saw last season?
Yeah, you know what? I'm excited. I think for a couple reasons. I think they signed back the key players that they needed to sign. With Daniel Jones, with Saquon, with Dexter Lawrence. These were some of their leaders, the staples. All of them had big time years last year under this new scheme and new coaching staff, and so they signed those guys and also went out and signed a couple playmakers for Daniel in this offense with Waller at tight end, drafted a receiver. Drafted an offensive lineman. They drafted a right tackle last year who's going to be, I think will be better and getting used to the speed of the game. So I think they're in a good spot. I also think, maybe for the first time, Daniel feels that this organization, this coaching staff trust him and they want him and that he's the guy so he can really step into that leadership role knowing that this is his team.
Eli, before we get into the Manning cast, I just want to piggyback on that. And obviously, the team looks better on paper. Dable's been fantastic. As you just mentioned, they took care of Danny Dimes. But how difficult do you think it's going to be for the Giants to get back to the playoffs? Because they've got one of the most challenging schedules. And obviously, we know the NFC East is loaded.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. And obviously, when you have a successful year, then the next year you're going to get matched up with better teams. That's just the way it goes. And so I think they got to. I think they know they have to be a better team than last year. And last year they won a lot of close games. They had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks, which is great. You want to have that mentality. You want to have that belief that no matter what happens early, you can win these games. But they also, I think, understand they got to the playoffs. They lost to Philadelphia. Pretty badly. And so I think that left them knowing that, hey, we can't just be the same team as last year and expect to have a better year. We got to match Philadelphia. We got to rise up to their level of play. And so we got to make improvements within our squad and adding new players, but we got to play better as well. So I think they're coming in hungry, understanding they can't just do the same thing and expect to get better. They got to practice better. They got to plan better. They got to perform at a higher level.
We saw Daniel Jones get his money. We saw Saquon Barkley get retained, although not the long-term contract he was looking for. One of the things I think has gone not spoken about enough, rather, is the acquisition of Darren Waller. I want you to tell me what you think that's going to mean to Daniel Jones and his growth under Brian Dable this season.
And got Sterling Shepard back, too.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I think Waller's he's a playmaker. Like the guy is as a mismatch, whether you put a linebacker, you put safeties on him, he's a big target. He works his tail off all camp. You see him staying extra, running routes, trying to get on the same page as Daniel. And I think that tight end position can just be that safety net for your quarterback. 3rd and 5s and 6, and they're playing zones, getting open in different areas. Get him on mismatches where you can throw it up high to him. He doesn't necessarily have to be open, and you can throw him open. And so that also down in the red zone. So I think it'll be, a great weapon, a real trust for Daniel Jones to have him. And you can see what these tight ends can do. You see, I'm not necessarily put him in the Kelsey era of how good he is in that same league. But when you have that tight end that can just make plays, that can get open, that can run after catch. It helps out your quarterback and really changes the offense when you have.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.